YouTubers out there in YouTube land, and good morning to all my TikTok people. Uh, Gladys, I see you. I see you. Raymond, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Tap the screen, share it live. I promise you, we're gonna have a good time this morning. First, let me acknowledge that I give my condolences to the families and the people that were lost in all the airplane crashes that happened across our country today, in the past few days. One actually happening here in Philadelphia. A young lady who was receiving surgery, finished receiving surgery, going back home, and her plane with her mom and a few doctors crashed in Northeast Philadelphia. Uh, I would like to send heartfelt condolences to those people. Um, to I think it was some type of sports team that was on the plane crash, where the military helicopter ran into airplane. Um, Sad story there, and I would like to give my condolences to that family as well. And then there was a few other crashes that happened in our airways across the country, and we definitely want to send prayers up for those people as well. And I say that to say that God is still working it out. For those who don't believe that He exists or the entity is not real, it is. And I understand to be absent with the flesh is also to be present with the Lord. So whether here or there, we are okay. And so this morning, I say to you that time waits for no man. And so we must continuously be vigilant and be empowered to move forward, even when we're being tried on all angles. This morning's message is going to be about the value of trust, a spiritual imperative for a chaotic world, a value of trust. Please tap the screen, share the live, tell a friend that we are here. Um, I know you have some friends that should come by and hear this message this morning because it's going to make their day. It's going to empower them to be a little bit more stronger, a little bit more vigilant, a little bit more everything. So please tell a friend to tell a friend that we are live, and allow this morning to really take you there if possible. All right. So please tap the screen, share the live, tell a friend, and let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So for those who don't know me or just getting on, my name is Jermaine Quick, motivational speaker, film award-winning film director, now author of my new book, Driven, which is available on Amazon at this time. So please, when you get a chance, go check it out. This morning's message, the value of trust. The value of trust. So, hardy har har. The value of trust. Well, thank you for the gifts, Dan. I love it. All right. We gather today in a world filled with uncertainty, chaos, and fear. The recent tragic plane crashes have left us shaken, reminding us of the fragility of life. As we mourn the loss of innocent lives, we are compelled to reflect on the state of our world and the values that can guide us through these turbulent times. in our hour of need. I invite you to join me on a journey to explore the transformative power of trust, a virtue that transcends borders, cultures, and faiths. Trust is the foundation upon which we can build, rebuild our lives, our communities, and our worlds. In the midst of confusion and chaos, trust is the anchor that holds us firm. It is the thread that weaves us together, the fabric of our relationships, our societies, and our very existence. Trust is the whispered promise that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger whole connected by our shared humanity. In the spiritual traditions of this world, trust is the fundamental principle. In Christianity, we are reminded to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not into our own understanding. In Islam, where the Quran teaches us to put our trust in the law, and in Buddhism, the concept of shraddha, of faith, is built on the foundation of trust. In Hinduism, the Bhagavad Gita urges us to trust in the divine. These spiritual traditions remind us that trust is not blind faith, but a higher consciousness. A conscious choice to surrender to a higher power, to let go of our ego's need for control and to have faith in the unknown. And I find that for some people very hard today to believe in something that they can't see. But I also find it even harder for people to believe in things that they can see. Some things be right in front of your face and you still don't believe in it. And I come to find that we are a fickle people, a people that only listens to our own egos and then question God at the sight of failure. You see, when you trust in God or a higher power, you're giving yourself an opportunity to not put the blame all on you. You're also giving yourself an opportunity to let go. Everything that you want to control and put in a perspective that you got it down packed, once you trust in that higher power in God to take control of the wheel, you can move mountains. You can go about your life not being in fear of, but having an understanding that anything's possible at any given time. You won't live in fear. For instance, imagine how many people that probably could have been standing, happy Sunday, Poetic Perspective, happy Sunday. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Anish, you're from India? Nice to meet you. Imagine how many people could be near a plane crash. But God found it not robbery for you to be there, so therefore you're not, and you're spared another day. You have one more chance to get it right with your family. You have one more chance to get it right with your loved one. You have one more chance to get it right with your children. You have one more chance to do the right thing in life. You see, some of those people will not be coming back to get that second chance, but you now here have a second chance at life to start trusting more and start allowing God to take over and not be selfish within yourself. We take life for granted so much that we don't understand that when we wake up in the morning, that is a second chance to get it right. In a world filled with fear, mistrust, and division, we are called to be beacons of trust. You see, right now, social media, the news, everybody's got you running in fear, right? Because when you're in fear, the control is much easier for those who are looking for it. If I have you in fear, you'll do anything and everything I say. But when you have the power of God in you, and you don't have that fear of what man can do and possibly do, you're not in control by whispering spirits. But when you live your life in fear, when you live your life in fear, scared of what's coming next, is there going to be another plane crash? Or what the president is going to do? Oh, they're taking away black rights and they're taking away this and they're taking away that. When you live in that fear of worrying about what is coming next, you're isolating yourself from a world that is much bigger than him, her, or whoever is trying to oppress you. You're not supposed to be oppressed. God gave you the power of diligence. He gave you the power of humility. He gave you the power of strength. He gave you the power of taking charge of your own life. So what are you afraid of when all power is given unto you? I say it to you again, that what are you afraid of when all power is given unto you? Tap the screen, share it live. We must learn to trust ourselves, our intuition, and our inner wisdom. When the last time you trusted yourself and gave yourself an opportunity to grow, put yourself in different atmospheres that were conducive to your growth, and stop hanging around the same people with the same bad attitudes and the same no future? When have you allowed yourself to grow? I say these things because if you say you trust in God, like you say you trust in God, then you would put yourself in various situations that's conducive to your growth. You would not allow one person to stunt your growth. You always put yourself in a position of power because God is your light and he provides all of your needs. So you will always put yourself in a position of power. We must learn to trust others. Trusting others takes a little bit, right? Because all your life you've been trusting people and they have been letting you down, right? But there were some things that goes with trust that we were supposed to analyze in the beginning, and we kind of forgot along the way. See, when it comes to envy, a person will show their hand every time because they're lusting off of what you have and not appreciating what you bring to the table. What you have, they can have too if they put the work in, but they don't want to put the work in. They want to have it from you. We are in times where trusting others takes more than just saying, I trust you. It takes a lot of action. It takes a lot of patience. The weight game has to be in effect because you have to understand that people don't show their hand right up front. Right? People don't like to show their hand right up front. So what they do is they put on the wolf sheep clothing and they hide behind those sheep. But when they finally take off the sheep clothing, you see everything for what it is. And people tend to show their hand early in the game. To see the divine in every human being and to recognize that we are all part of the same web of life, you have to be open to perspective. Tap the screen, share it live. You have to be open to perspective. You see, understanding trust. Good morning, Momo. Good morning. Understanding trust goes a long way, right? And you have to be open to want to even understand trust. Your mind has to be open. When you got a closed mind, you don't know how to trust people because you've been hurt for so long, right? You've been hurt for so long, and so therefore letting someone else in and allowing them to be a part of your life, it is a dangerous task for you. It is a dangerous task for you. But you have to realize that everybody's not the same person that hurt you. So trust takes a little bit more ingenuity because now you're trying the spirit with the spirit. Hello. Tap the screen, share it live. I'm about to get on something real quick. And some of y'all, if you're ready for it, you're going to receive it very well. See, this morning, I want to tell you that there's a lot of people that are in fear right now. You have a lot of people around you and on this app that are in fear right now because of what's going on. They might not be talking about it. They might be using comedy to give you a little relief from it, but they are living in fear. And the reason why they're living in fear is because uncertainty is as plain as day. Lack of jobs, new AI systems in place, taking away jobs. When you don't have income, there's more deficit in the communities. That means a lot more people, because they're not working and they'll have no jobs, a lot more poverty is going on in our community. But people don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about how we are in communities right now that are one step away from being broken. Not just broke, but broken. And what comes out of those communities could trickle over into any community. And when I say that to say that no matter what community you live in, whether it's a suburban area, rural suburban, or you live in what we call the hood, it doesn't matter. You're not safe anywhere. It's only until the higher power, God, says you're safe and you have an understanding, you and him have a perfect understanding of how safe you should be. When you have that understanding, then you can start to trust that God got your back. Hello? You can start to trust that God has your back. We must learn to trust others, to see the divine in every human being, and to recognize that we are all part of the same web of life. We trust, but trust is not a one-way street, right? It requires effort, commitment, and dedication. We must work to build trust, to nurture it, and sustain it. We must learn to build trust, nurture it, and sustain it. Building trust takes patience because it's a day-by-day process. Just because you meet somebody in a day, that don't mean they're going to trust you right off the bat. And if they trust you right off the bat, they're moving too fast. Sometimes it takes a little while to allow your trust to work into that person. They got to show you a few things. But a lot of us hear that, oh, this is going to be in the shopping mall or whatever. I'll trust that. And, you're giving all your trust to that. Several things can go on. You can lose your money when you go to buy and purchase stuff, all kinds of things that can go on, trusting things and people in the wrong places. Somebody hear me? Tap the screen, share the live. Who do you trust? And I'm going to put that in the comments. Who do you trust? Who do you trust? Who do you trust? When you understand that trust comes from patience, trust comes from understanding, trust comes from diligence, then those type of kinetic energies will start to attract to you. Remember, I told you in the beginning a long time ago that life is about energy and attraction. And so therefore, if you want positive energy to be attracted to positive energy, you have to learn to give it right back. So if somebody gave you something about trust and you did nothing with it and you just let it sit, rot, then you didn't even trust the process. God can't bless no mess. Okay? It requires effort, commitment, and dedication. It requires effort, commitment, and dedication. See, if you don't put effort into the trust that God has instilled into you to trust someone else to get the things that you need done right, and you're not committed to see it through, if you're not committed to see it through, then you're not going to be dedicated to keep up with it. If you're not committed to see it through, you're not going to be dedicated to keep up with it. And this is why a lot of people fail, because everybody's looking for the quick fix. If you are the type of person that is looking for the quick fix in this world today, you are missing a lot, because there's flowers that are blooming and you don't get the chance to see them because you're so busy running. Oh, I got to run to work. I got to run to this appointment. I got to run to the hairdressers. I got to run over here. I got to run over there. And in the process of running, you're missing the flowers blooming. You're not enjoying the moments in life. And so we only have one life to live. One. And within this life, we're experiencing each other. And so therefore, in learning that, you want to take the time to slow down and smell the coffee. We must work together to build trust. In our communities, we have certain foundations that aren't really talked about or expanded upon because people don't want to take the time out to expand those services. You don't just need a PAL league to reach out to these children. Anything can, with a league or any type of structure, children will follow. It's not just about basketball or football or what you think they can do. Kids want other things to be able to adapt to so their minds can be more sharp. And we live in a world where we're dumbing down our kids and we're using VR systems and different things to allow them to keep their attention spans in one area and not really expanding their mind to be more creative. That is our fault. Once again, we're not ready for what's going on. But you have to trust that God is going to make a way out of no way. We must work together to build trust, to nurture it and to sustain it. We must be willing to take risks, to be vulnerable. How many people you know in your life really like to be vulnerable? Everybody got a game face on. Some people two-faced it, but everybody has a game face. They're not giving you they real, they all in all. They have a face on. And I would hate to say it, but some of us have a face on. Huh? When it's not just the people we're dealing with, some of us have a face on. Tap the screen, share it aloud. I don't know if y'all hear me this morning. Who do you trust? When you go to work and you see all these friendly faces supposed to be smiling, and you know half of them lying all day. Come on now. Who do you trust when you know that when you go out to eat or whatever, maybe that employee is having a bad night and they decide to just give you whatever they fix? That food could have anything in it or whatever the case may be. But we keep eating it because we believe that God is going to bless it somehow when we say our prayer. We eat that food, but we don't know what that God ate in the back when he was cooking it. Trust. We trust that that food is going to be good. So trust goes a long way when it comes to understanding life. Like, we give our life to people that we don't even know. When you get on the airplane, you give your life to the pilot and you hope that he's not drinking or doing anything that he's not supposed to be doing, and so that we can get to our destination from A to B. We give our lives to the Uber driver. Every time we jump in the Uber, you hope that that Uber driver is not drinking, or he has a mentality that, or she has a mentality that is trying to get you to A to B safely and sound. We give our lives to people like banks who take our Social Security money information and archive it somewhere to whereas other people can access it at any given time they want. We give our lives to the corner store every time we go buy a food sandwich from the corner store, not knowing if they wash their hands or they got some type of salmonella poison. We give our lives to the fast food restaurant when we go get our Popeyes chicken and our Wawa food, not knowing that the employees behind the counter got their own lives going on. See, we do a lot of trusting in our lives, and we take it for granted that people are prepared to handle us with care. If you're a person and you understand what I'm saying to you, you'll understand that you give a lot of trust to people every day, but not knowing that if those people are trustworthy. Trustworthy. You put your hands and faith into people, not knowing if they are trustworthy. You don't even do the research on your trusting with people. You trust relationships just built off a smile alone. And you wonder why they are faulty in nature. We trust that the president will do what he say he or she will do, say they will do. We trust that your state representatives will do what they say they will do. You trust that your children will go out the door and do what they say they was going to do. But we never cross-check or hold accountable anybody for the things they do. And you wonder why our world is in such fear. We are in fear because we have yet to hold people accountable for the things we trusted them to do. This is a powerful message for those who believe in their mind that they have it all down pat and don't understand that you trust the laundromat when you go put your clothes in the washing machine, not knowing if somebody done put something else in the washing machine before you, but you put your clothes in there. You trust in not just fast food restaurant, corner stores, Chinese stores. You would trust in all of these people to treat you like the king and the queen you should be. However, you don't know what they're putting in their food. So I wake you up to the reality today that the value of trust runs much more deeper than a word just saying, I trust you. There has to be a connection there. There has to be an understanding there that you are here for the long term, that you bring something to the table that other people wish they had in their travels each and every day. You're bringing something different to the table. So I'm asking you this morning, who do you trust? Your answer should be, I trust God through it all. I trust God to guide me when I go to the store to get my food. I trust God that when I pray over my food, that it is blessed abundantly, that no hurt, harm, or danger shall come my way. I trust in a higher power to know that whatever I'm vibrating on today is going to bring me life and more abundance thereof. I trust that God is going to show me the way when I don't know the way, wherever I'm going in life, when I'm walking outside, that no hurt, harm, or danger may come my way. When I go to the store to go buy my groceries, when I go and buy my clothing, when I go and just be a part of society's world, that he will protect me through the depths of this world so that I won't be lost. I trust that he has his hands on me. I trust that no matter what I say and do in this world, I will be protected by his love, by his grace, his mercy abundantly, that I will not lose my way. Trust goes a long way. And when you begin to trust people, and when you begin to trust God, there's something that you can let go of, and that is your own personal ego. And each and every day, when you begin to trust in a higher power, he will show you the way, the truth, and the light, so that you will never fail in your journey. That's being vulnerable. And that's being understanding that we must open up to the possibility of hurt. Because we all felt some hurt, and some of us are still feeling some hurt right now. You trusted that man or that woman to inspire you, to be by your side when you needed them the most. And one day they woke up and they not there anymore, and you're hurt. You're in pain because you gave your all to that situation. But let me arouse your dry bones this morning and let you know that some people are in your life for reasons, and some people are in your life for seasons. And just because somebody get up and go doesn't mean they were supposed to be there forever anyway. You understand? They were there, and they gave you all they could give you in that moment of time when you needed them the most. See, God will send people in your lives for reasons and for seasons. For those who don't understand that, you'll be lost because you don't trust in God enough to understand that when you really need him the most, he's not going to show up in his image. He's going to show up in an image that is more relatable to you, so that you can utilize that image a little bit better. So he might show up as a he or a she, someone that is more effectual in your life, and give you the things that you need in order for you to grow a little bit more. And if that season just so happens to be up, then just so be it. Sometimes it do hurt. Sometimes it hurts to the core when a relationship breaks up. But I'm here to tell you, after 52 years of living on this earth, I realized that I'm still here through all the hurt and pain. I do not look like what I've been through, but I understand that I trusted God enough so I can move on and still look good doing it. I trust in God. And yet the rewards of trust far outweigh the risk. When we trust, we open ourselves to new possibilities, to new relationships, and to new experiences. We begin to see the world with fresh eyes, to hear new ears and to feel with an open heart. In this chaotic world, we are called to be agents of trust. We must trust that we are part of a larger story, one that is unfolding with precision and purpose. We must trust that every experience, every challenge, and every triumph is an opportunity for growth, for learning, and evolution. As we move forward, let us remember that lives lost in the recent plane crashes, God has our back. God is in control and has that family in his arms. Let us honor their memory by choosing to live in trust rather than in fear. Let us recognize that we are all a part of a delicate web of life, connected by our shared humanity. I've been down that Milky Way road that you've been down. There was many times I didn't trust a lot of people, and today I'm still cautious of who I trust. But the one thing I know for sure, and the one person I do trust, is God himself. The God in me has intelligently revised me. The God in me has intelligently recrafted me. The God in me has overwhelmingly showed me the way, the truth, and the life. So when I move around, I have no fear in this world. I don't subject myself to things that are not a part of me. I don't put myself in places that I don't supposed to be. I trust him enough to move me around in places I need to be so that I can do the things that he may have me to do. That's my trust in him. We must trust that every experience and every challenge and every triumph is an opportunity for growth, for learning, for evolution. As we move forward, let us remember that the lives lost in recent plane crashes, that those people mean something to someone. And deep down in our soul, it means something to us because they entrusted in God to deliver them where they needed to go. And who are we to question what God allows? So in closing, I say this to y'all. I offer you a quote from Sufi poet Rumi. The womb is the place where the light enters. The wound is the place where the light enters. Let us trust that the wounds of our world, the wounds of our hearts, and the wounds of our soul can be healed by the light of trust. May we choose to walk in trust, to live in trust, and to be beacons of trust in a world that desperately needs it. May we trust that we are part of a larger whole, connected by our shared humanity. And may we trust that together we could create a brighter, more compassionate, and more loving world for us all. Tap the screen, share the live, y'all. Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. My message to you this morning is that the value of trust goes way beyond just trusting that you walked into the store and you came out alive, but knowing that the plan was much bigger than you. Knowing that God's plan for you is much bigger than you can fathom in your little mind, and that the more that he increaseth you in understanding, the more that he could use you in this world. Trust in him with all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding, but trust that God will make a way out of no way. And I know you're sitting there like, brother, it's easy to talk from your perspective. You look nice. You look like you got a roof over your head. You got a nice looking suit on. You look nice. You got wards in the background. God, you've been blessed. But you don't know how I got here. You don't know how I came this far. You don't know the struggles that I had to go through to get here. See, that's the thing about life. You see all the people with the money and the fancy cars, and you start to envy that because you think they were given that easily. But you don't know what they went through to get that. Some people went through negative situations to get the things they got. Some people had to wait a long time to get the things they got. But let me tell you something. If you wait on the Lord, all things are possible. When you trust in the Lord, all things are possible. And when it's your time to shine, you will shine bright like the star you are. You have to just learn to believe in self. Learn to understand that God is in the healing business. And whatever you need and desire, he will bring your way. You have to understand that everything takes time. Nothing happens overnight. The awards you see in the background, the jacket I have on, it didn't happen overnight. What happened was I had to put some work in. I had to put the time in. I had to understand a little bit longer. 52 years in the game, I promise you, ain't nothing happened overnight for me. But every day is a sweet and beautiful journey. I get to meet new people. I get to have new understanding. And even through the hurt and the pain, I get to have more understanding about life. And the one thing I understand is that I trust him with all my heart and I lean not into my own understanding no more. Because he is my salvation and I recognize that the God consciousness in me moves a different way. I thank God for everything. I no longer complain about what I don't have. I understand that I cherish and value everything that I do have. Thank God that I got my two eyes that I can see out and see into TikTok world and the YouTube world and see you beautiful people. I thank God for the ears that I can hear so that I can hear the sound of the wind and I can hear the sound of children and my grandchildren as they come up and hug me. I thank God for my tongue that I may be able to speak words of joy and give people hope and inspiration in their time of need. You see, I work in a Norristown State Hospital. I work at a psychiatric ward, and those men and women there need my voice so they can stay sane. I thank God for giving me the strength to handle such things as that. When you thank God for the little things in life, you begin to trust him a little bit more because he begins to entrust in you with things and abilities and skill sets that are crafted specifically for you so that you can move about and do his will. You see, I thought I was going to be an electrician when I got out of high school. That was my first intention. I graduated with honors in my electrical applied class. I even worked for the union, thinking that I was going to be an electrician, but little did I know that those skills were just something for a later use. I became a film director, learned how to plug in and out and learned how to use wires to adapt and attach things. And the skill set that I learned from being an electrician carried on way further than just being an electrician. You see, your plan is not God's plan. So when you trust the process, you can move a little better. If you keep thinking that everything you're doing is because you made it happen, you got your little degree, you made it happen. You forget that God gave you breath of life so that you can live a little longer to go get that degree. He gave you the mindset to be in your right mind, because a lot of people are not in their right mind. I need to tell you that right now. A lot of people are not in their right mind, but he gave you that mindset so that you can move about and do the things that you're doing. So I say to you this morning that when you start to trust in God, be thankful and be humble, walk in humility, and be vulnerable to the fact that you may get hurt along the way, but without that hurt, that pain, that struggle, there's no growth. And then you can't teach the lesson that needs to be taught to those coming after you. So I send my warm heart and love to you for coming in this morning. I appreciate you. I value you. I hope that your day is abundant with joy and love and peace and prosperity. I hope that what I've said this morning actually aroused your dry bones enough for you to start trusting in God a little bit more. And I know that the world is shaky and we don't know what tomorrow leaded to, but put your trust in God. And when I say that internally, I want you to internalize the God in you, the God power in you, and allow it to use you in such a way that you be a giver and not a taker of this world. I pray for each and every one of you each and every day. I love you. I hope you share this message with someone who needs it the most. I value you. I thank God for you. And I pray that you walk with us each and every day. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I come on and give a special message. And every Sunday, Sunday Morning Elevation is where we come get the love. Thank you, Poetic. I appreciate you. Every Sunday, Sunday Morning Elevation is where we come get the message. So thank you for coming through. Hopefully, as we continue to grow, you guys will come on and inspire me too. Because we can't do this alone. We got to walk together. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Poetic? Thank you so much. I love you guys. And thank you, Boss Baby, for the gifts. I appreciate you. I hope the message hit each and every one of you with a smile, and you can go about your day and do what you do best. Look good, look good, look good. I appreciate you guys. May heaven smile upon you and have a blessed day on purpose. See you tomorrow, Monday.